Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Guys, look, welcome back to the Costly Distinct Podcast. It's been a long time since I saw you guys, man. Look, this is the new season. We got some new things going on. We have some new sponsorships. We have some new guests. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, I have my little beautiful guest right here, all the way from Dallas, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, but she came to stop by. But before we get to the beauty queen of the hour, I'd like to thank everybody that tuned into the show. It's been a while. Shout out to everybody that's making it happen. Shout out to the third quarter of the year. You know what I'm saying? We're approaching, October. We're approaching football season.
September.
School about to get back in. I think the teachers are back. But the kids, they go back in August, mid-set of August. So this is Christmas time. This is the fall, baby. We ready. We ready for football. Go Saints. Who that? Shout out to who that, you heard me? We in there. Even though we in Texas, we got a lot of Dallas fans. Even though the Texans, they've been winning. So now we have Texans fans. So
Dallas ain't.
Don't do that. Don't do that to your Dallas people.
I'm not a. They don't scare me. I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Oh, you're not? Oh, wow. How you live in Dallas and not a Cowboys fan? That's weird.
Because I'm my own individual.
I like it. So, guys, before we get started, thank you 605 Adult Beverages for the sponsorship. Adult, what is it? Drink ALP6. That's their tag. Make sure you guys hit them up. Here we go. And this is for the fall. This could be mixed with anything. It's an infused beverage, infused THC with alcohol, black on.
Why you didn't give me any of that?
I got you. You want something? It's gonna have you the wavery.
I don't care.
Oh, you okay? I got you. I'm gonna get you a bottle before we leave, so you can bring back. Oh, also thank you, Red Core Universe, for having us scream on Tubi and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys. You bring in Costly Distinct, not just domestic, but international. Much love. As you can see, to my left, I have our guest for today, Miss Thelma Anderson. You've probably seen her on social media, what is it, Tell a Lawyer?
Tell a Lawyer.
Tell a Lawyer. And she was here. It's your second time on the show, but she wasn't in studio, but now she's in studio. Much love to that. How you doing, man? I'm great. Today is a beautiful day. I feel young today because I got my young Kanye West clothes on. A chick told me, she saw me with this on, she said, them slave clothes. I said, they do kind of look like slave clothes. Shout out to Kanye West.
Okay. What does slave clothes look like?
Well, when they was in the fields and cutting and working, they had ripped up clothes. That's why. It looked like hand-me-down stuff. But, anyway. Yeah, man, so how you been?
I've been great.
And what brings you to Houston?
I'm in Houston, one for business, and one of my good girlfriends got married.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday, we had an African wedding, Ghanaian and Nigerian. Mm-hmm.
Oh, shout out to the homeland. Shout out to Nigeria. Shout out to Ghana. How was it? It was beautiful.
Oh, it was so beautiful. I want to have an African wedding.
Oh, you
did?
But
without the African.
Oh, hold up. So you don't. So you want to have the African wedding without the Nigerian or the Ghanaian?
Yeah, just being there, it made me resentful to not being attached to our culture. It was just the essence of the meaning behind the traditions of the wedding.
Right.
I'm we're cheated out of that experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Yeah. If a person is not well traveled, or if they never experienced another culture in terms of communicating, they would never know.
Yeah.
So it's a good experience, and I've been to a couple of Nigerian weddings.
Yeah. So I want to have. If anybody can tell me how I can still have an African wedding without an African, because I want one.
So. Moving right along, we're going to get you an African after you before you leave. You in Houston, and look, you definitely going to find a Nigerian because they out here, they outside.
I heard.
So I want to get back to the term you said, business. So you do multiple things, right? We know you're a lawyer, and we know you on social media when you do a lot of cases. Well, not even cases, but you do a lot of, research on cases that's prevalent. But I want to talk about the business side.
Yeah.
What you got going on?
So right now, of course, by day I do business consulting, from helping business owners set up and form their business to the protection side with IP. So that's what I primarily do with clients. However, I have my own businesses. I have some inventions that I'm working on.
Okay.
I have some television projects. One, the Public Opinion Court, is a platform that I built where I report on prevalent cases, what's going on in the news, social media, and breaking it down from a legal standpoint and giving people the actual reality, because everybody think their opinions are the reality, and it's
Yeah,
not.
that's right.
So outside of that, what brought me here this weekend was I met with the director on a course that I built called Build Your Own Business, where I help entrepreneurs build their own business and save thousands on legal fees.
That's dope. And you told me the acronym. So as we know, you go to a party, you go to an event, and everybody says it's a BYOB
Yeah.
event, and I didn't realize that bring your own business is a BYOB acronym.
It's Build Your Own Business.
Build your own business.
But yeah, it's the BYOB acronym because, of course, we're going to correlate bring your own bottle. So naturally, people are going to, catch on to the BYOB acronym. So
Right.
I was like, okay, build your own business. Let's build your own business so you can bring your own bottle.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So why is that a passion? Because you see a lot of people that's in business, that's been in business, and the number one goal for being in business is sometimes money,
Yeah.
right? Economically. Why do you want others to bring their own business?
Well, it's
Like
important.
what's the like what why is it a passion for you?
It's a passion because with our own, race, we have constantly been discriminated against, and we are always behind the ball when we're talking about funding and receiving grants that could help grow our business. So a lot of that is because of not having education, not having information. So for me, it was very important to build this platform so that I can educate entrepreneurs to prevent those roadblocks that I went through, because business is hard. Like,
Yes,
I had a
indeed.
lot of failures. So through my failures, I learned how to navigate in the world of business. And the most important part is your structure. So,
Right. So, and that's important. I want to talk about that too because I know a lot of entrepreneurs start business and they don't know how to structure a business. Just a simple DNB, this DNB, Duns and Bradstreet, then a LLC, getting those tax numbers and all that stuff. A lot of people don't even know how to structure that, and that's just from the business standpoint, the IRS standpoint. And then you have the internal structure of your staff, if you have a
Yeah.
staff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, who's going to be the project manager? Who's going to operate it? Who's going to be the finance person? Blah, blah, blah. A lot of people don't know how to do that. And I'm speaking about this because I know about it firsthand, but you could speak more on it, your structure. How did you manage to learn about your structure, and then how are you going to educate people on how to structure their business?
I think one incident that allowed me to learn about my structure was when I was applying for my minority certification. And this was years ago. And they started asking for documents that I didn't have.
Right.
And I was like, there's no manual. When you go and you file and you get approved for an LLC, they don't give you a manual of what documents that you need to have. It's through trial and error. Unless you have a mentor, unless you have someone that is going to hold your hand through the process, you're going to constantly be trying to survive instead of thriving in your business. So with going through that experience and realizing, oh, I don't have this document, I don't have this document, I haven't been keeping up with this,
Right.
that is what allowed me to see it from a perspective of an just a regular entrepreneur who don't necessarily have the education, which is not a problem. But if I knew I was going through it, I knew that the average entrepreneur was going through it. So I was like, you know what? Let me create a packet with all these documents so that it's a one-stop shop for them, because I knew exactly what they needed.
So you mentioned certifications. What are these certifications?
So I applied and got approved for the minority certification.
Okay.
So that allows you to go after government contracting. You can get you can get access to certain funding, things
Mm-hmm.
of that nature by having that certification. Now, is it a lot to navigate through? Yes. So I recommend getting a mentor or a coach to navigate you through that process because it becomes overwhelming. Because now you're in.
Right.
How are you going to
Yeah.
manage and capitalize off of being in? So,
Yeah, because it's important. One, it's important when you have all that stuff and you apply for it. It takes forever, especially with the county or the municipality. It takes forever for that stuff to come back. And then when it does come back, it's either going to be approved or
oh,
not
yeah.
approved. And you want to waste you if you want to waste all that time waiting to get it disapproved, like nah, it becomes unmotivating. You don't want to do it. But from my experience, I think it's pivotal to have these certifications. And if you guys want to know the certifications, you can look them up. Some I'm gonna mention the DBE, that's a disadvantaged business enterprise. You have the minority, the MWDB, the minority women's certification. You have the small business enterprise, SBE. You have it's a multitude of them.
multiple.
It's a lot of them. But whatever applies to your business, you can apply for them with, like I said, your city, municipality, or the federal government. So, and it's free.
It's not free.
It's not free.
No.
In Houston, where Harris County was free.
Oh, in Harris County, I'm in Dallas, and I think mine's was like over. It was either $275 or
Okay.
right over $300.
We just had a processing fee, and that was like $75.
Well, Dallas is not the same.
Yeah. So, what about the transition? Do you want to move to Houston? Because Dallas, I like Dallas. Dallas is a metropolitan area where a lot of business transpire in terms of transportation. That's why the airports and the road systems are created like that. Why you don't just come to Houston?
I mean, I lived in Houston for 3 years when I was in school.
You got to come back.
I mean, you know,
Because we be outside in Houston.
I know, and I be inside in Dallas where I love it. Like, and I'm safe, and I am tucked away
Oh,
with my bonnet and my
Oh.
muumuu on,
my
and
goodness.
I live to see another day.
oh my goodness.
You know?
I feel that's fair. That's a fair answer. I get that.
Yes.
So I want to fast forward and I want to segue because some things I noticed when on your social media that you was following certain cases, right? And then you put your commentary to these cases, right? What's the process behind that when you do like that type of thing? Do you want to educate the people just in case they go through it, or how? Like, what is that?
Yeah. So my goal is to educate. A lot of people don't understand the legalities of the law because it becomes technical. So being that, I have experience in criminal, I know why people do things because they lack the knowledge.
Right.
So what I do is I do it from an entertainment standpoint because you want to make sure that you are catching your target audience or individuals that are looking for this information, and you break it down in a way that they understand and is relatable.
Right.
So I just take newsworthy stories and I break it down, and I break it down in a way that, now people are hitting me up when stories come out and like, hey, can you break this down? Like, where are you? I'm like, yo, I need a break. So it's becoming to that point, and that's what motivated me to start the public opinion court, because everybody feel that their opinions are reality. And when we're talking about the law is not the reality of how you perceive it. So that's the reason why I do it, and I love it.
That's good because a lot of stuff I don't know because I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to read all them documents. I don't want to do all
And
that.
I'm trying to retire as we speak.
And most of that time I'll be, looking at some things like, especially I'm just one trial that's going on. What's my man's name?
Young Thug.
Young Thug. His trial, and I've been just following bits and pieces, and
Yeah.
people, have commentary on it. And I go to your page, and you have it
A
listed
snapshot.
of everything, and then you break it down what's going on. I was like, okay, we need people like that because I have no idea. Like, even if I'm looking at the trial, I might catch it on the back end of whatever day it is. I'm like, but what's going on?
Yeah.
And you catch the person up with your information. So that's good.
Yeah, and I do it in a way that is unbiased.
Okay.
Because I like to stay neutral, because I mean there are twists and turns in law from day to day. So if you go in with a set opinion and say this is where I stand, and something happens, now you got to retract. And I do it from a standpoint that doesn't tear people down, because we get that enough in the media. So I want to take it and do a different spin. Yes, can some people perceive it as being opinionated? Yeah, but that's just people's perception. But I wanted to do something different, so that when individuals who I may be reporting on, they don't feel attacked, you know?
Right. How important is representation for us? How important is that?
I think it's very essential, because, of course, we know our history. We know the why behind the whole push of the criminal justice system. It wasn't to deter, it was to control us.
Right.
Because when we think back to slavery and, of course, us being freed, they had to find out a different way to try to hold us back. So what other way than build profitable prisons in order to wrongfully convict, wrongfully accuse, wrongfully lock up us, because they saw our power. And when you see our power and when we understand our power, that changes things. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a big word you said. Having an awareness of your power, knowing your power, and knowing how to use that as a muscle to protect not just you but your people.
Yeah,
that's important. So I want to segue in a little bit, because you said something about the legal system, and the first person that is popped up in my brain was Kamala Harris, because she used to be a prosecutor. Then she went on to be in the DA,
she was the attorney. She prosecutor, DA, attorney general,
senator, and vice president,
and presidential nominee.
And speaking of that, answering the call. Is it answering the call, right?
Yeah.
The motto that's been going on with social media, answering the call. The first question is, did you answer the call? And second, two-part, did you answer the call, and why did you answer the call?
So
we're getting political right quick.
I answered the call, but I didn't make it to the call because I was in Atlanta.
Oh, you was
outside.
Okay.
And I didn't get the memo of the call because it was so, I think it was so last minute.
Yes.
But so many people still were able to attend the call. Everybody didn't get the notice of it, because I think that it would have been even bigger, even though 44,000 African American women that attended the call. That's still impactful. It shows that we are ready to show up and show out for our girl.
So, and and you guys know I have an opinion on everything, but I'm gonna keep my opinion, like on the back burner, because I have a lot of questions, right? And for those who don't know what we're speaking about, we're answering the call. So, Kamala Harris, as you know, President Joe Biden, he's stepping down as the president. So, of course, normally the vice president will be the Democratic nominee. But in this situation, it's a vote, right? You got to.
Yeah. So, because the Democratic convention hasn't happened yet. That's where the delegates make the decision on who the nominee is going to be.
Right.
So technically, even though Joe is presumed the nominee and he stepped down, it doesn't automatically grant Kamala the nominee. She still has to go through the same process that he had to go through. The great thing about it is she didn't have to go on the campaign trail.
Right.
She didn't have to go in and seek votes and things like that because she was attached to him. So she bypassed all of that process in order to make it here.
Right.
Which now she has the opportunity to go to the Democratic convention, and the delegates, I'm presuming is going to overwhelmingly approve her and vote for her to be the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party.
Do you think that the United States is ready for not a black woman? Not a black woman. She's not even black. I'm sorry.
She is black.
She's Indian, but
no, she's Jamaican and Indian.
So.
And Jamaicans have African heritage.
Well, I'm not gonna get into that side of it.
Yeah, we gonna get into it because she's black.
Because so I want somebody to do this. I want somebody to Google Kamala Harris ethnicity. Mm-hmm. Her nationality is American, but her ethnicity. Mm-hmm. And I think she's 100%
Indian. She's not 100%
Indian.
No,
and I'm talking
not.
about Indian, not Indian like a Native American. She's not black.
She is black.
That's fair. Nothing wrong with that. But to answer,
she is black like you. The difference between your blackness and her blackness is the pigmentation of your skin.
No.
Yes, it is. Black is black. She's black.
Oh, I understand that. It is. It's one drop test. I get it. But I don't think that she's by ethnicity. She's
how? Where do you get
she's
that?
Not of African descent.
What are you talking about?
I think she's 100% Indian.
No, she's not.
That's why I say I want somebody to fact check me.
Do you?
That's what I think. I'm not sure. That's why I say I don't want to, I don't know. But this is what I've seen.
What do you think Jamaicans are?
Well, Jamaicans of African descent of the West Indies.
Okay, so if one of her parents is Jamaican,
I gotta see that though.
You should have saw that before we came here.
I know I should have, but I didn't. I want somebody else to do it for me. So they're gonna do it for me.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, put it in the comments. So look, to go back to the question then. See, she about to get on me right now. See, that's what I'm talking about. Or is America ready for a woman to be helm leader?
Well, let me take it back because America was ready in 2016 for a woman to be president. However, because we had the corruption with the former president in that particular election, that election was stolen from Hillary Clinton. She was ready, and we were ready for a woman president because at that time, Hillary was the most qualified candidate to run for president at that time. Mm-hmm. Now, when we fast forward 8 years, like I said, we were ready in 2016. We are even more ready now because when you look at the dynamics of this country and of the world, without women, this country does not operate.
I agree.
And we are the ones that are making the decisions behind closed doors.
I agree.
We are the ones that are operating and running big Fortune 500 companies.
I agree. Behind
closed doors. Men are not doing it by themselves anymore. They need us, and we know they need us because. I'm glad you said that.
I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna go somewhere with that.
Because without us, this country would crumble. The world would crumble.
No, I get that 100%. We need women for a lot of stuff. We need women for leadership. We need women for help. We need women for the expertise, that knowledge, everything. But I'm gonna go back to the question.
And that leadership.
I'm going to go back to the question. Or is America, you spoke about the corruption of the election in 2016, and that same corruption is going on. And we still have undertones of racism. We have classism, misogyny, things that, are just not fair, right? We can just look at something like WNBA. Look at the economic difference of the same entertainment. So the question is America ready for a woman as the leader, commander-in-chief?
It's not a question of if America is ready. They gonna have to get ready because it's happening.
Okay.
So it's not a matter if they are ready. When is your time is your time. And I believe it's her time. So whether they want to be ready or not, it's happening. So either get ready or you're going to have to just experience what everybody else is going to experience.
Do you think she's going to win?
I do believe she's going to win.
How? And this is not I asked the question not for a personal, like a personal thing. It's more of a political and what's best for the GDP.
Yeah.
Right.
So the reason why I feel like she's going to win, and this is why Democrats was so panicked with Joe, is because Joe was not in a state to take on 4 more years. So the confidence in the Democratic Party started to dwindle, which means that when your big money senders start questioning, just like when you are the boosters at in college with these sports programs, when they lose confidence in the coach, guess what? The coach got to go. Look at what happened to Texas A&M. Coach had to go. They still had to pay him that money. But the boosters was like, we got it, but you got to go. We need new.
Right.
We want something new. That's essentially what was the issue with the Democratic Party. They knew that Joe was not fit to continue with 4 more years. So, they had their conversations. And now I feel that there is an energy boost within the Democratic Party because you have Kamala, who I believe is 59 years old. Mm-hmm. She's sharp as a whip. She can go toe-to-toe with the best of them and come out on top.
Yeah.
She's been in office for going on 4 years now as the vice president. So she knows the intricate parts of what it takes to run a country because she's seen it firsthand. Outside of being a senator, outside of being ahead of one of the biggest attorney general states, which is California, being a former prosecutor, I know the Democratic Party is confident now in getting behind her, which is going to take money, resources, and also there are a lot of people now that are willing to switch parties because they wasn't confident in Joe Biden, but who else did they have to switch to? Now you're going to see a lot of individuals that don't like the rhetoric of Donald Trump that is going to get behind Kamala, and we're seeing it day after day. We're seeing it in conversations where people are afraid. These Republican women are on TV saying that they are scared.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm afraid too. Not afraid. So this is a two-part thing. I'm not afraid on the political side because politics are politics. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's just what it is. But I'm afraid from a woman's standpoint.
Yeah.
In a personal way, because, and this is specified for black women. Black women are the most successful women between the age groups of what is it, 25, 45, right? In terms of education, growing, whatever. I'm afraid because now, if a woman of color becomes a president, now that is going to exceed, which causes what? More
pressure
on households. That means they don't want men no more.
That's not true.
Because now this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm looking at numbers now. I go off the stats. 60% of people, in marriage ends up in divorce, right? 30% of that 60% are from successful, educated black women. Why is that? This is my opinion. I think the more success, the more leadership, the more high up black women go, they can't be stopped. So they're not going to stop for nothing, not even their man. So that's going to have more single black women, that's why I'm afraid.
I beg to differ.
You ever thought about that?
I've thought about it. I'm in that predicament right now, single. I have, all of this going on. But the question that you have to ask the individual, this is beginning conversations because you don't know where your story is going to take you. So you have to have those uncomfortable conversations up front. And anybody that, I previously dated, I let them know, like, I have all of this going on. And at some point, it's going to take me into different directions. Now, do I want this direction to be with you on my side? Absolutely. Can you handle that?
That's the wrong question to ask, though. Can you handle it?
Can you handle it? No. If a man can ask me, can I if I'm dating an athlete,
okay,
and I'm talking about a professional athlete, NFL, MLB, what have you, and we know that when they're in season and in training,
right,
there's a different mental space that they need. And guess who gets the short end of the stick and have to compromise?
The woman.
The woman. So if I'm having the same conversation with a man from a standpoint of business and everything I have going on, what makes it different?
Well, I don't think it's a difference. I think that the role of responsibility is different, right? I'm not saying that a woman is not capable of doing what a man could do. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the roles of responsibility. One, spiritually, that's a big thing because God is, it's God, man, woman, children, right? I didn't make the order of things, so I'm
Do
don't
you
be too.
follow that order though? That's the
Don't
question.
don't do that's first. Second, from a financial standpoint, we, and I say we as black people, we've gotten to the point to where we allow our finances to make decisions for us personally within a marriage versus saying this is ours, right? This is the money that you make is ours, right? So when a successful woman come in that got a lot of stuff going on, making money, doing whatever, and a man comes in, it's all about, well, I got this going on. Well, I got this going on. Now it's a tick for tat, and y'all fighting internally, and y'all, it's like it's all going in one pot. You ain't got to do as much, baby. And that's why I'm saying I'm afraid because most successful black women are not going to stop. They're going to keep going, 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 and now they're leaving that man behind. I'm like, what is the actual purpose of marriage?
Men do it all the time.
But
They go and go and go and they don't stop.
nah,
and,
men get complacent.
And listen, when they go and go and go, and the woman is saying, "Hey, you're going too much. Can we dial it back?" And it's a no. Guess what? They go and find something else to compromise for that. And guess what? They leave the woman behind. So you can't say that it's this way when it's also that way for you all because y'all do it too. And truth be told, a lot of women, especially a lot of successful black women, I'm talking about entrepreneurs. I'm not talking about the corporate women because that's a different lens that you have to look at it from. When you're talking about an entrepreneur, majority of black women want to bring their men along for the journey with them, to be a part of it, to build generational wealth together. You have a lot of men with egos that don't want to do that. And I'll give you an example of a couple that I look and I'm like, damn, they are literally building an empire together.
Okay.
There's this couple that owns Canva Beauty. Canva Beauty out of Alabama. Stormy and her husband. They own it. And his name is Courtney. She started as a hair stylist.
Okay.
She created this hair serum that helped hair grow. And guess what? He got behind her. Now they're breaking history on TikTok, making $1 million in a TikTok live off of a hair business that normally men don't want to go into a woman's lane. But this is a man that removed the ego and saw the vision that his wife had. Now they have 8, and I think they'll eventually have a 9-figure business.
But you don't think that's backwards?
No.
Like,
it's not. But here's the thing: because it's not backwards. Because it sounds like you're saying, why is the man following
that's right.
her? It's not backwards because guess what? Those two people sat down and had a conversation, and that man told his woman that I'm going to back you, I'm going to invest in you, we're going to build this together. That's not backwards. Where in the Bible that says that it's backwards?
So support is not. I'm not saying to support your wife, support your man. I'm saying for single people, I don't know if it's good advice to tell a single man to go find a woman with a vision versus you have the vision and she follows you. You see what I'm saying? Well, that's the way I say that. You don't think that's backwards? You see what I'm saying? Would a man, you're a single woman, and a man says, "Oh, you got a vision. I see what you're doing. I'm gonna get behind you." You're gonna be like, "What? That's kind of weird."
No, I'm not.
Oh wow, this is a new day and age.
I'm not because with everything that I have going on, like my history of the type of men that I've dated have already been successful.
Okay.
So it's harder for them to get behind me and my vision. It's always focusing on their vision. So it's refreshing to have a man come along and say, "Oh, I see your vision. I want to help you through your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Where can I show up? How can I show up and support you? What do you need?" That is refreshing to a woman that is so used to doing that for a man, and to have a man come along, and I'm like, where you at? Like, do they even exist? Because
coming to Houston, they have a lot of men that's looking for to be what they call that, a woman to be a sugar mama.
no, it's not. I'm not gonna be no sugar mama. No, you gonna roll up your sleeves. You gonna get your hands dirty. You gonna use your brain. You gonna do all of that.
I got
We
you.
ain't doing no sugar mama over here.
I got you. I'm just saying.
I don't pay to play. No. Mm-mm.
Shout out to the men that's seeking women who have vision.
No, you talking about seeking women that have vision so they can be taken care of. That is two totally different things.
That's what I'm saying though.
No, there are men that actually thrive off of women with a vision, because not only does it motivates them
Okay.
also, but I mean, you have men that see a woman's vision and just wants to support, whether it's investing, providing resources, you know, being an ear, being a visionary behind their vision. There are men out there.
So speaking of vision, what does Thelma have coming? You don't tell everybody you know what you got, everything, you know, some
Yeah,
things you
no,
have to disclose.
I have. It's some things that I cannot disclose. But of course, I have build your own business that is launching very soon. That is teaching entrepreneurs how to build their own business through our e-course from business formation, trademarks, contracting, crisis management, and providing resources and documents and templates for business owners to utilize in their own business. Have some television projects that are, in the works. What else do I have? Still developing some inventions. You know?
So if a man sees you, and men are going to see this that don't know you, and they're going to hear what you're talking, right? Now, I'm asking, how does a man shoot a shot? Right? How does he come at you? If he could touch you, like if he's in your city or he's close by, or DM, you can touch everybody through DM. How does a man shoot a shot?
Be authentic.
Okay.
Be
100%.
yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. You will get farther being yourself with me, because I can pick up on if a man is being authentic.
Okay.
If you're not, then it's no need for you to even try, because you're gonna leave with a broken heart. So just be yourself. I'm very old school. You know, I like for men to come and approach me. Do not come to me with your friend and say, "Hey, my boy over here," because I've had that.
Right.
Have men, whether it's their security guards or their driver or whoever. No, I want to see you. I want
okay.
you to approach me, because why do I need to hear a recommendation? Because that's a recommendation.
And then you know what it is. This is the kind of life you're gonna be living.
No, I don't take recommendation when the main source wants to be interviewed.
That makes sense.
So yeah.
That makes sense. Be authentic, guys. Be authentic. Before we get out of here, we need your handles and websites, and how can they find you? Some consultation,
Yes.
and because you're still an attorney too, so you still have that going on. So how can they get in contact with you?
So on social media, my social media handle is Tell a Lawyer Group. My website, especially where my e-course is going to be, is tellalawyergroupacademy.com. My YouTube channel is the Public Opinion Court, where we'll be releasing content very soon. We're still in the thick of the crazy YSL trial that is never ending, and so I like to break that down for y'all, or any kind of news. So those are 3 ways that y'all can get in contact with me.
Got you. And Instagram, well,
My business.
Yeah, your business. I got you.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't need y'all sending y'all bodyguards in my DMs. So if you can find me, you can find me. If not, it's not meant to be.
That's right. Make sure you guys hit Thelma up. You know, yeah, she does good work. Um, man, this has been a
Make
great.
sure you are registered to vote. Make sure
Yeah,
that
that's
you
true.
all are updated with your registration because they are doing things to try to prevent people from voting. One is outdated registration, knowing if you can send in mail-in ballots, knowing the deadlines to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Early vote is going to be an important, crucial step because guess what? If you are showing up on the day of, which is not a problem, there could be technicalities,
Right.
issues can happen, so you want to get ahead of that. This is one of the most important elections of our time. 2016 was a very pivotal election season and year because it changed the dynamic of the Supreme Court. And as we've seen, DEI is being done away with, affirmative action, Roe v. Wade. We have the Chevron. We have the presidential powers. Like these are because people didn't get out and vote in 2016. So just imagine the dynamic as we are looking at 2 Supreme Court justices that will retire if Trump gets reelected. And guess what? That is going to continue to bring out unprecedented cases that are going to be overturned after being in law for 60 plus years. So this is very crucial. Get registered to vote.
Go vote.
Tell the people to vote.
Go vote.
Show up in numbers.
Go vote.
We cannot afford another 4 years of the depressing state that we were in when we had an unqualified presidential leader in office that caused nothing but strife, and we are experiencing it now with inflation. So, yeah, make sure that you are doing your civic duty to get registered to vote.
I feel the passion. I see you. You're going to be a leader one day. You're going to be a politician.
No, absolutely not.
The way you just...
I don't kiss ass.
The way you just had that, that little spiel right there.
Yeah.
Vote because of X, Y, and Z. Because
Absolutely.
of... Yeah, but that is important. Go vote. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're registered in your respective area. Make sure all your licenses and everything's up to date. So when you get to the polls, you don't have no issues. Yeah, vote, vote, vote. Utilize your power. Utilize your source. That's very important. Guys, we got to get out of here, man. This was a great show. Thelma, I thank you for coming back. You know what I'm saying? You're always welcome to the show. You feel me? You always come through, you know what I'm saying? Come through on a Sunday. We could be outside all day, you feel me?
Oh, I'm going outside.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my Nigerian brothers. Look, she like Nigerians, I'm just saying.
Listen, I want to know how I can have a traditional African wedding without an African. Somebody help me because
It's impossible. That's like having a bar mitzvah without a Jewish person.
But listen, I'm African, just American. So they
True.
still. So I just want to know how I can have the traditional wedding without the African because I don't think me and Africans align.
Got both a strong will. Huh?
Yeah, like I've tried and yeah, it's not in my ministry.
Strong will. That's what it is. So we're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
That strong will, and we're gonna work on the vision of the man, and we're gonna work on accepting things. Okay. So we're not gonna talk about that. That's gonna be the next show, guys. But I appreciate you, Thelma, for coming up here. Shout out to 605 Adult Beverages. Shout out to Red Core Universe. Everybody that tuned in, make sure you guys tune in. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Word of the week is diligence, awareness. That's 2 words. Diligence and awareness. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your situation. Be aware of your spirit. That's the word.
And let your spirit use you.
Guys, we gotta get out of here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Much love. It's your boy. Peace out.